energy and belief that Kevin Keegan's sheer presence seems to generate. Even Manchester United know the joke could be on them if they're not careful. He's charismatic, he's patriotic, he's rich in international experience, rich in life's experience, and he's in charge of Fulham and insistent that it will stay that way. But the story won't go away, and nor one suspects will the FA. Anyone with any doubts as to Manchester United's intentions towards the FA Cup need only look at this lineup. Roy Keane and Paul Scholes are suspended, Ryan Giggs is injured, so this is just about Alex Ferguson's strongest available lineup. Gary Neville passed a fitness test this morning. Phil Neville plays in midfield to provide some security behind that holy trinity of an attack. Rod, at least you didn't have to face all three together at Forest last week.
Thank goodness for that. The only thing about it, Clive, is they have had to alter the shape a little bit. I'm never sure that Solskjaer is so happy when he's playing on the left-hand side of three. Against that, of course, Yorkie can float here, there and everywhere. You know, he's got the ability to go on either flank, so he'll probably get the balance from that.
What a day for Kevin Keegan to run into injury problems. 4 of the team that won at Aston Villa in the last round are unavailable, including the strike force of Paul Pesky-Solido and Jeff Horsfield. Paul Bracewell and Simon Morgan miss out too. Dirk Lehmann in attack hasn't been a regular since November. John Stolarco hasn't been a regular since September, and Fulham have had to change their system too, Ron.
Yeah, they're playing in 4-4-2. Well, that's the way they're about to line up. I just wonder whether Collins, number 7, may be forced to move into the back line and perhaps help Simons and Coleman. Finnan is a natural wide player. He's a winger by sort of heritage, if you like, and I'm sure he'd be happier going forward.
Referee this afternoon is Jeff Winter. It is raining in Manchester. The pitch is wet but quick. Now, who's the goalkeeper in the firing line today? Mike Taylor, the only goalkeeper to keep a clean sheet at Villa Park so far this season. Only Shay Given of Newcastle has managed it here. What are the odds against Taylor keeping out Manchester United this afternoon? At the other end, will Peter Schmeichel, the Manchester United captain in Roy Keane's absence, be a spectator? This Schmeichel's last season of FA Cup football. John Stolarco knows all about Manchester United and the FA Cup. He's played them twice in cup finals, twice in FA Cup semi-finals with Crystal Palace, but not been on the winning side in those matches. Well, players will decide the outcome of the tie, but managers have dominated the build-up to it. It's 3 years since Kevin Keegan told us just how much he'd really, really love to beat Alex Ferguson. Now, a lot of soothing water has passed under their bridges since then. And now they have both emerged as unlikely and unwilling rivals for the England manager's job. Only in the FA Cup. Fulham's first success on this season's road to Wembley was against Lee Railway Men's Institute, less than 10 miles from here, nearly 3 months ago, back in round 1. Now look where they've landed. And they needed a replay to get over that first obstacle. They take a replay now. Gary Neville, who missed out on the England game in midweek through injury. Henning Berg back in the Manchester United defence after a 2-week absence. But it's the Manchester United attacking combination which has caught the imagination of this massive crowd inside Old Trafford this afternoon. But will it click? Will Fulham let it? Dirk Lehmann conceding the goal kick. He was a regular until mid-November, when Barry Hales, his striking partner today, was signed, and Jeff Horsfield came to the club, and Dirk Lehmann, the German, has been a substitute for most of the period since then. Headed by Kit Simons. Hales in pursuit. Tidied up by Stout.
It doesn't look as if Fulham are going to make any specific plans to change the back four. What they are doing, they're going to play with the number 4, Neil Smith, very much as a back four protector. If one of the midfield players, if one of the front players drops off, like York has at the moment, I think it'll be Smith's job to go and try and hunt him and mark him.
York has started on the right. Solskjaer on the left, with Coleman in the centre and Neil Smith, something of a bodyguard for the man behind him. Came off the head of Philip Neville to Dirk Lehmann. Right away from Wayne Collins to Dwight York. Now Philip Neville, on by Nicky Butt. York out to Dennis Irwin. Butt let him run. Came off Steve Hayward. Butt to Solskjaer. Phil Neville. Tackles by Hayward. And the throw in is Fulham's. Hayward, who scored against both Southampton and Aston Villa in the last 2 rounds. In fact, Fulham have scored inside the first 10 minutes at both Southampton and Villa Park. Manchester United, by contrast, have indulged in a spot of brinksmanship, settling their differences with Liverpool and Middlesbrough inside the last 10 minutes here in the 2 previous rounds. Noise is being made by the 8,500 travelling Fulham fans. Ball runs through to John Solako. Stam away. Smith trying to get the shot away. Solako with the curler, but Schmeichel was properly positioned.
Big chance for John Solako on a big stage again, isn't it? I mean, he's played international level, he's played in cup finals, as you say. Hasn't been really in the scene at Fulham. Good opportunity for him to turn the clock back a bit here.
Here is Solako. Came off Henning Berg. It is a Fulham throw. Rivers Brevin. Collins has made a run into the box. Came off the head of Nicky Butt. Stam down. Ball won back by Neil Smith. And this is the right back, Steve Finnan. Comfortably taken by Schmeichel. Phil Neville, who has operated in midfield for Manchester United before, feeding David Beckham. Now Dennis Irwin, on by Andy Cole. Solskjaer running free momentarily. A support on the outside from Philip Neville. Cross was deflected and Manchester United have a corner.
Well, there we saw the brightness of Cole again, though, didn't we? A little slick ball, fed Solskjaer in.
Solskjaer inside the 6-yard box. Henning Berg and Jaap Stam are inside the 18-yard box. Taken by Beckham. Towards Stam, came off the head of Brevin. York tried to knock it down. Neil Smith knocked it away.
Yeah, I think you'll find to be on most corners that Stam will be the focal point. They'll try and hit him, and then he'll try and knock it down for things to fall in the box for the recognised strikers.
Here's Barry Hales for Fulham. Has Dirk Lehmann running to his right. Held up by Berg, but no more. Smith has made a run beyond him. Neil Smith has John Solako wide. 2 waiting in the box. Solako's cross in towards Hales. Dealt with by Beckham back there. Collins trying to set up Steve Hayward. Starts a bit too much of him. It's been a confident start by Fulham.
Yeah, they've been compact at the back. And they had the one little flutter when Cole plays Solskjaer in. And competent at the back, and they've shown that when they come forward in numbers.
Smith. Lost out to Butt. Brevitt had a few yards start on Dwight York.
I mean, it has to be said that 3 of the defenders are very, very experienced defenders and will all have played here. Simons, Coleman and Brevitt at left full-back.
And the goalkeeper, Mike Taylor, has played Premiership football here for Southampton. Kit Simons. From Portsmouth and Manchester City. Bickham. Rather loose one, which Coleman cleared. And a loose one now from Stamp, resulting in a Fulham throw. By Simons. Collins and Smith went for the same ball, but it has dropped for Brevitt. John Salako. Feeding Collins nicely. Low in towards Lehman. And it was deflected off Stan, and Fulham have a corner kick. And we've mentioned the experience that Coleman and Simons have in defence. They also carry a threat in their opponent's penalty area, that's for sure. Coleman on the left, Simons on the right. Headed down by Chris Coleman. Kevin Keegan says he's the best player in the second division by a million miles. Money, he did pay £2.1 million for him.
There's also signalled his intent there, hasn't he, climbing above both Stam and Berg for that.
And an injury hit spell at Blackburn, and Kevin Keegan had to persuade him to drop down a couple of divisions. And that's one of the reasons that Keegan's loyalty to Fulham has been underlined time and time again in the last few days. He feels as if he would be letting down the players that he brought to the club. Away by Simons. Phil Neville. Picked off comfortably by Finnan. Now Collins. Support from Haywood. This is Brevitt. Salako. In towards Smith. Under pressure from Berg. Fair pressure in the opinion of a well-placed referee. Manchester United are in their best run of form for 3 years. They're averaging going on 4 goals a game this year. 7 straight wins to ring in 1999. Mind you, Fulham are acquiring a taste for success at their own level. Just 1 defeat in their last 7 games. Ironically, here in Manchester at Main Road last month. And link up between Solskjaer and Butt. That 3-0 defeat at Manchester City last month, significant for another reason. It was the only other occasion during the season that Keegan has started a match with a flat back four. That's run through towards Solskjaer, but Andy Cole has been penalised for pushing Kit Simons. Jumping in front of Stamp. Owen tidying up. Oh, Schmeichel right against Berg. That could have gone anywhere. Dwight York. Well, Henry Berg felt that, but Peter Schmeichel would have felt it even more deeply if it had fallen to a Fulham player.
Well, we've seen a catalogue of those recently, of keepers or defenders cannoning shots against each other, but that would have been a collector's item, that.
I think they'd have replayed the game, wouldn't they? That would have resulted in the goal. Phil Neville. On his sole shot. Into Andy Cole, just beyond stretching Cole. It is a zippy top surface. Alex Ferguson's new right-hand man in the foreground is Steve McLaren, who arrived 9 days ago from Derby. Nearly 4 years there, alongside Jim Smith, a Yorkshireman whose playing career was injury hit, but whose coaching career has suddenly hit the jackpot. Brian Kidd's replacement. 4 by Smith. It's Collins running free down the centre. Irwin coming across. I don't think Wayne Collins could quite believe his luck. He was looking for the ball and looking for the cover. He's run a corner kick.
Yeah, he's good at that, Wayne, breaking forward, and that's a good first-time ball. And actually, I think if he'd have gone with a little bit more belief there, you know, he might have got there before Irwin.
And if you're wondering how Ron Atkinson knows so much about him, it was him that sold Wayne Collins to Fulham.
Correct.
Steve Hayward will take the corner. Inevitably, Coleman and Simons are forward, although it's gone short to Hales. Now Hayward swings it in, headed away by Irwin. This is Collins who won the corner. Now Finnan. It's Kit Simons who's found himself out on the right flank. Throw into Fulham. We've made a self-assured start in these lofty surroundings. Kit Simons. Back out to Steve Hayward. The flag up here. Henning Berg has cleared. I think the referee's seen it. Now he'll stop play. Manchester United getting on with it. Dwight York. Pushed off the ball by John Salaka, no free kick. Barry Hales. Challenged by Henning Berg. It's a Dwight York. Revett going all the way with him. Phil Neville. Nicky Butt. York. Neville to Butt. Two wayward passes from Manchester United in these opening moments.
I don't think they've come to terms really with the system at the moment. They look a little bit unbalanced. I mean, Solskjaer, by his own volition, doesn't like playing out on that side. York is the man who's suited to drop off and play in spare areas, but he seems to be spending a lot of time in non-hurting positions.
But
it's noticeable when he drops off that Neil Smith hardly leaves his side.
Neville to Beckham, trying to feed Gary Neville, but Barry Hales has gone all the way back with him.
That's good tracking back that, because Neville had made a very dangerous break.
Now Hales making one for himself, and here goes Dirk Lehmann in behind Manchester United. Support from John Salako. Neil Smith is forward inside the box. It's Smith with a header. He almost stole in front of Dennis Irwin, who held his ground, stood his ground very well.
In actual fact, Lehmann seems to be having a lot of joy on aerial stuff, both he and Hales. He's got a crosser here when he puts his mind to it. Salako can cross a ball as good as anybody in the game.
It's interesting you say when he puts his mind to it. You know, John Salako is still only 29. He's been an England international. He's had some injuries and problems. He hasn't quite realised his potential yet, Ron, has he?
No, he's suffered as well. It has to be said, by very bad injuries. He had a horrifying injury at Crystal Palace.
This is Hayward. Now Finnan. Fulham are certainly pushing a lot of men forward too when they get the ball in wide positions.
Yes, I talked about Neil Smith being the anchor man and picking up as a marker. But whenever the ball goes wide, at least one of the midfield players breaks forward. On this occasion, they've got both midfield players in the box.
Fitting in towards Salako with a header, and he was free. He's 18 yards out, but...
Yeah, 5 players pushed in. I mean, that's a Keegan trait, isn't it? You know, he does say that he likes people to come forward, and when this ball's crossed, there's 5 white shirts in the box.
Score in a minute, we're going to score in a minute, is the chant from the travelling Fulham fans. A bit of the manager's self-belief seems to have rubbed off on the supporters. I think he has that effect on everybody he comes into contact with. Phil Neville. This is Dwight York. Now Nicky Butt. Charged down by Rufus Brevitt. York to Irwin. Manchester United having to try to patiently pick their way through a crowded Fulham midfield. Fulham are putting in a lot of energy in these opening stages, it has to be said, but very effectively. Thin and only as far as Phil Neville. Owen to York, and now Butt. Now Phil Neville tiptoeing in behind Fulham here, deflected behind Andy Cole. And Brevitt cleared. And here's Barry Hales. Slarko's just behind him. Well, he wasn't short of cavalry there. He didn't need to carry the ball quite so far, but he's been favoured in so much the ball came for Steve Hayward.
I thought he might have tried Berg out then a bit, you know. I thought he might have knocked it into the grass and try and run Berg.
Phil Neville. Cole is pulled wide to the left-hand side. Solskjaer is down the middle. But joining him now. This is Andy Cole. David Beckham. Gary Neville. Beckham. Swung too close to Mike Taylor, who's been relatively untroubled thus far. Being pursued by Hales. Cole back to York. Irwin. Solskjaer. York. It was Chris Coleman who came between Dwight York and Andy Cole. Not much has come between them in the last couple of months. Lehman helping out inside his own half of the field. Salako. Hayward.
They've been very, very compact, Newcastle. They've stuck together when they've gone forward, and as soon as they lose possession, they get back in a group and make it hard for Man United. They're trying to force Man United wide in the last third and say, go on, put the ball into the box, and we've got enough aerial power in there ourselves to deal with it.
The last time Kevin Keegan came across Manchester United, he was the Newcastle United manager. October 1996, 5-0 winners at St James's Park that day. Six months before that, what some view as Keegan's costless defeat at Manchester United's hands, his irritation with Alex Ferguson's comments at service at Ellen Road. There's only 4 points in the final title tally that season. Minutes, no real alarms for Fulham. Hales. On a free kick. Offside. It's 15 years since Manchester United lost an FA Cup tie to a team from a lower division. Harry Redknapp's Bournemouth from the old third division beat Ron Atkinson's United, Robson, Wilkins, Stapleton, Muren and company. It's over 30 years since there was a major FA Cup upset here when Sir Matt Busby was in his prime. This is York. Oh, it's fallen for Cole, he's offside. It fell fortuitously to Andy Cole. just beyond that last prostrate defender.
Fulham reject.
Yes. He did have a spell on loan to Fulham in 1991, 2 months. And he got some experience under Alan Dix's management in the 3rd division, played alongside Gary Brazil during that spell, Andy Cole. His associations with Kevin Keegan well documented, his association with Fulham not quite so well documented in the last week. The Fulham fans remember him.
Yeah, you definitely feel United are missing that left-hand side balance of either Giggs or Blomqvist. I mean, when they go out onto that side of the field, they're always invariably having to turn back. There's only really Phil Neville, when he gets wider, that can deliver left-footed.
We've had a quarter of the match. But down to Beckham, given away to Smith. Collins to Brevet, now Salako. Oh, that's short. Brevet did well to recover. York couldn't quite capitalise. Button, Neville trying to provide some bite for Manchester United in midfield. Lehmann is offside here. Solskjaer, Irwin, Cole, slipped through to York. Simon's made the tackle, Coleman made the clearance. Hales makes the pursuit with Jaap Stam. Looking for the back pass. Hales making sure he can't play it. Nobody else got up with Barry Hales. Beckham. To Gary Neville. Nicky Butt. Neville's cross. Charged down by Salako. Hales to Finnan.
He's been in the thick of everything, Hales. Drop deep when they lose possession, and he pushes in, and he's going to try and hound the 2 centre-halves of Man United's.
Collins has made a forward run. Stam didn't cut that out cleanly, but it ran kindly for him. Beckham, very much the Manchester United playmaker this afternoon. York into the path of Dennis Irwin. Problems here for Fulham. Cole is there. Taylor managed to get hands on the ball. Brevet tried to clear. Job still not done. Finnan away. Collins trying to help it out of harm's way. Hales has given it away to Solskjaer though. Good work again by Collins. Back to Neville. First moment of truly desperate defending for Fulham.
Yeah, the first moment of real, genuine, slick class from United. I mean, some of the play between Beckham and York there was excellent.
Solskjaer the target here. In towards Andy Cole, real chance, 1-0. Breakthrough for Manchester United comes after 26 minutes. And it's come from Andy Cole.
And all through the game we've been thinking, Clive, I was talking to a member of the Man United staff this week who said the beauty of the Man United team at the moment is at any given time in a game we've got players that can score. Angle ball, wasn't the greatest back pass from Solskjaer. Andy Cole, fortuitous, hopefully. Reads the script, is in there, and it's a nice tuck in. A little bit of a deflection, possibly. I mean, he's just managed to keep that one in play. Does this deflect off Simmons? It may have done, you know.
There's the reaction from Alex Ferguson, an element of relief because Manchester United haven't exactly created a pile of chances during this opening period of the game, but they are in front through Andy Cole's 75th goal for the club.
You'd probably say that was against the run of play, although the movement earlier suggested that, oh, this one's
Lehmann's
got him in.
offside here. It's Dirk Lehmann for Fulham, and somehow Gary Neville got to him. It was a clean tackle from behind. But a fantastic opening for the German to strike back immediately, and that could be a really key moment in the game.
Well, it was an excellent chance. I bet Lehmann couldn't really believe the amount of time and space he got there. I think if he reacted a little bit quicker, we'd be back on terms again.
Goal for Andy Cole at one end, and within a minute, a goal-scoring opportunity for Dirk Lehmann at the other. Couldn't take it. Give some credit to Gary Neville, though.
Yeah, good defending.
This is Dennis Irwin. Brevet stretching. Andy Cole. Now Gary Neville. Andy Cole again. Not his Sunday best, that.
Neville appears to have a real problem there. I don't know if he's gone over and tweaked his knee by the look of it. He's running very, very badly. But not running humbly.
Gary Neville, who's the player in trouble. Chris Cole. Can Fulham regroup? Throw into Manchester United. Gary Neville, limping Gary Neville. We look back on this as a crucial challenge. Only just got a toe on the ball.
That's not when he did it, though, actually, Clive. He did it in the other end of the field when he went on that little stumble. I think it was with Brevet.
But Lehmann had his finger on the trigger and was ready to pull. Dennis Irwin for Manchester United. Mickey Butt, Phil Neville. Irwin, Butt. This is York. Now Cole. Butt, York, Cole. Hayward got amongst them, but it's come back for Dwight York. Now Beckham. Charged down by Rufus Brevet. It's a rather clumsy challenge by Kit Simons.
I think the referee has penalised Manchester United then. If he'd allowed play on and the advantage, they were in a brilliant situation.
David Beckham is placing the ball carefully. Bad news for Mike Taylor, although Beckham is due a goal, shall we say. Hasn't scored since the start of November. David Beckham. Taylor just saw it by the post. 18 games without a goal.
He gets this up and down very, very quickly. You're right, I think Taylor would have seen it off if it had been on target.
I'm not sure the goalkeeper didn't touch that.
I was thinking that then. It looked very much as if he'd handled it round the post.
Kept a straight face and he's got a goal kick.
Couldn't have touched it. Most goalies, you know, even if they miss it, they claim they've touched it. They don't mind the corner if they're credited with the save.
Hales.
This fella Hales, I think, is giving Stam not an uncomfortable time, but he's trying to wear him down. I mean, that takes some doing against somebody like Stam, who's a very, very physical, commanding presence, but certainly Hales is making life difficult for him.
Andy Cole. Able to link up with David Beckham. there, but fortune has favoured him. This is Steve Finnan. Fulham throw.
I know Finnan plays as a right full-back, but I think if he could get into the top half of the field, I think he could get at Dennis Irwin a little bit. He was quite a tricky winger.
Steve Hayward. Rufus Brevitt in some space on the left-hand side. Hayward's pass poor. Will receive 15 minutes of positivity during the half-time break. It's still 13 minutes away. Manchester United fans are chanting Keegan for England. Fulham fans are not joining in. Said he thinks that Keegan would make a good England manager. He's a wanted man and a birthday boy, 48 years today, since he became Doncaster's most famous son.
I think what he'll be hoping at the moment is his team just stay concentrated and don't let another goal in. At the moment, there's just little signs of maybe things just starting to lose a grip on it. Man United are turning up the heat a little bit.
Beckham on the ball, as well as anybody for England on Wednesday. Stam in very strongly to win the ball from Neil Smith. This is Dwight York. David Beckham. Oli Solskjaer. Beckham in towards Gary Neville, who seems to have recovered fitness now.
Yeah, that's a good little tandem, you know, between Neville and Beckham. Beckham goes infield, as you say, acts as the playmaker, and every opportunity he gets to switch the play, Neville will go bombing up the flank. And they've played so much together as kids, through the reserves, international level.
Beckham finding Neville again. This is York. It's come back to Dwight York by Kit Simons. Nicky Butt. Angled in towards Gary Neville, across the face of goal. It's came off Coleman and almost for Dwight York, who's, I think, caught as much by surprise as was Kit Simons.
Some delightful play there. A great little ball by Butt. Just keeps it in the danger area. Rebound, and he's got it all on to get that on target. But they're playing those little triangles just outside the edge of the penalty area now, Man United. They don't panic when they're within range of goal. They keep the ball. They've got confidence in each other. They trust each other with the ball. And what you see now is the Fulham raids have become more sporadic, aren't they? They haven't really put a threat on for a while. But while it's only 1-0, they have a chance.
They did have a chance, a very good chance, within a minute of Andy Cole's goal, which came in the 26th minute. Dirk Lehmann caught by this man Gary Neville in the 27th. With a fine tackle. Neville to Beckham. Stam. Butt. Stam into Solskjaer. It's Dwight York now. Smart start by Mike Taylor. Loader is right. York used his body very well to create the space for the shot.
Excellent football, that's, I mean, a lovely little body swerve, as you say, and a good save. Good save, because he struck that fairly well, Yorkie. Keeper's got a good strong arm on it.
I saw him play here for Aston Villa in an FA Cup semi-final 3 seasons ago. A semi-final they lost 3-0 to Liverpool, but that wasn't a fair reflection of the play that day. It was a reflection of Robbie Fowler's finishing as much as anything. Now he's joined in the Manchester United trophy hunt. Maybe got some scouting information from his former Aston Villa teammates about Fulham. I'm sure Bozzy would have sent him a video.
Can't remember. I don't think Buzzy played in that game, did he?
Fulham chairman in the centre of your picture. He missed the win at Aston Villa because of a bout of flu. Fulham just looking to dust themselves down and pick themselves up and trying to find a little bit of the self-confidence that they showed in the opening 25 minutes of the game before Andy Cole scored.
Yeah, they put a lot of effort into the first half hour or so, and you know, the way United move the ball about on people, that can be tiring.
Manchester United have Fulham pretty much where they want them for the moment, leading by Cole's goal. York. On towards Butt. Solskjaer to his left. Cole down the centre. This is Ole Solskjaer. Got his shot away, and Taylor had to hang on with Andy Cole closing in.
That's good goalkeeping, that. Good cut in and a good first-time shot there from Solskjaer, and keeper's done very well hang on to that with Cole menacing.
Manchester United with a measure of control. Owen to Solskjaer. York. This is Beckham. Neville. He's tried to be a little bit too clever there, David Beckham. Salako.
First time we've seen that for a little while. One of the Fulham midfield players trying to make a break. Collins desperately unlucky that he was tracked back by Phil Neville there.
York coming between Brevard and Salako. Looking very comfortable for the moment. This is Cole. Now Stam. York. Beckham. Stam. Phil Neville. Fulham just trying to keep Manchester United at arm's length. York. Beckham. But showed too much of that to Salako. Won it back there from Smith. Beckham out towards Irwin.
Yeah, at the moment it's very much staying the game time for Fulham. I mean, if they get to half-time with the scoreline still the same, I would think Double K will be reasonably happy.
York. Run away from him to Finnan. Stamps header down. Phil Neville forward. It's actually 20 years since these two teams last met. Manchester United beat Fulham en route to the final of 1979, the 5-minute final against Arsenal. It's going on 35 years since Fulham last beat United. Beat the United of Best, Lord, Charlton & Co. United en route to the Championship and the FA Cup semis that season, but defeated at Craven Cottage in 1964. Gary Neville. Here's his brother. York back to Phil Neville. Surging away from Collins. Into Andy Cole. Trying to spin away from Simons. Might come for Solskjaer. Good challenge by Hayward. Phil Neville's cross. Header away by Hayward again. Beckham trying to reach it. Solarco is close to him. Beckham in again towards Solskjaer, and this time the header away is by Chris Coleman.
Good defensive header. I think if Andy Cole had been a little bit aware, he got players over there to pop a pass up to. But that's, I suppose, why he gets his 25 goals every season. He is a little bit selfish, and rightly so, in the box.
Beckham's corner. Dealt with at the near post by Hayward. Nice work from Nicky Butt. Into the penalty area towards Henning Berg. Just a little too strong for Dwight York. Solarco looking for Dirk Lehmann. But the Fulham thread is muted now. Manchester United's thread is growing. Cole keeping Coleman under pressure. Run away from York to Hayward. Smith has made a break down the centre. Hales has found him. This is Barry Hales. On to Neil Smith, back to Barry Hales. Solarco available on the touchline. Hales through the legs of Henning Berg, and it's Nicky Butt who has to come across. And Hales leaning into Nicky Butt concedes the free kick.
Good bit of bright play from Fulham, that, and Hales very predominant in that.
It's only his second year as a professional footballer. He's 27 in April, Barry Hales, but it's with Stevenage in the conference that he made his name and came to Fulham via Bristol Rovers for a big fee, £2 million last November, and he has scored nearly 100 goals in the last 3.5 seasons, including the winner against Southampton in the third round. Pretty strong back pass from Hayward. Taylor only as far as Beckham. Could be a problem here for Fulham. Beckham in low, and it was Chris Coleman who got back there.
I think the keeper deserves that bit of luck. I mean, he's been very competent throughout, and had one of those goalkeeper rash moments.
Bit of pace on Hayward's back pass,
yes, yeah, but I think keepers that try and dribble are going out of fashion.
Beckham in towards Stam.
It should have been a foul. I'll tell you what, that's a bit. Yes, Coleman's protesting. As the keeper went to come for that, you know, Cole has blocked him off. Well, the ball's in flight. Cole's just nothing to do with the play. He's blocked the keeper off completely.
Stoppage time at the end of the first half. Finnan. Stam is there. Came off Finnan and turned forward by Smith. And here's Steve Finnan again. Header away by Gary Neville. Only as far as Steve Hayward. Phil Neville thought about the back pass. Last action of the first half, which went very well for Fulham for 25 minutes until one of their former players, Andy Cole, snapped up a rare chance for Manchester United, created by Ole Solskjaer and steered in with the right foot. A minute after that, Dirk Lehmann had an outstanding opportunity to equalise for Fulham, but Gary Neville managed to deny him. And at half-time, in this AXA-sponsored FA Cup fifth-round tie, it's Manchester United 1, Fulham 0. Alex Ferguson has made a change for the second half. And An FA Cup debut for 20-year-old Jonathan Greening, who's taken over from Dennis Irwin, with Phil Neville reverting to a more familiar position at left back, and Greening joining Beckham and Butt in midfield. Fulham's first visit to the fifth round of the FA Cup since they last reached the final back in 1975. And here they are taking on the richest club in the world in front of 50-odd thousand at Old Trafford, and just one down. I wonder what Tommy Trinder would have made of all this. There's Jonathan Greening, 20 minutes of experience in the Premiership, and now getting his first taste of the FA Cup. He's a long-striding forward stroke midfield player. Cole, Solskjaer, out by Kit Simons. Is that a sign of the way Manchester United are going to set about the second half?
It's also a sign of the understanding. I mean, that's normally something we attribute to Cole and York a little over there, but full marks to Solskjaer, and that's great intercepting by the defender.
Corner kick which David Beckham will take. Headed away by Hayward. Phil Neville's been in and out really this season. It's his first start of the year at Nottingham Forest last weekend. Played at left back there. He hasn't had a run in the team since October. Now the last couple of England squads too. Sometimes forgotten that he is a couple of years younger than the other batch, Gary Neville, Butt, Scholes, Beckham. He's 22 just last month, Phil Neville here. Here's Jonathan Greening. He's being held by Barry Hales. Greening came from York City less than a year ago. In fact, he played his last game for York against Fulham in a second division match in front of less than 5,000 people. It's a bit different now, isn't it? Cole, York, Beckham, Gary Neville, Nicky Butt, out to David Beckham, charged down by John Salako. Dwight York, Gary Neville, York to Butt, Beckham, easy for Taylor, only layman downfield against three red-shirted defenders. Just a subplot to the main action. Manchester United do have a big Premiership match here on Wednesday against Arsenal. I'm sure Alex Ferguson would like to establish the kind of daylight which would enable him to rest a couple of more players later in the game. So far, just the single goal scored by Andy Cole midway through the first half. This is Butt. Jonathan Greening, who's replaced Dennis Irwin, who has a groin injury. Phil Neville. Good challenge by Simons. Made a right remark dismissing the importance of the FA Cup after those celebrations at the end of the Liverpool tie in the last round, and yet it has been so good to him. 3 times a winner, and most notably that breakthrough success in 1990. It was his 4th year in charge at Manchester United, his first triumph, and all sorts of ultimata were suggested during the course of that cup run that Manchester United had lost at Nottingham Forest or at Hereford. It could have been curtains for Alex Ferguson. It was a long time ago, all that. Kill to Beckham. Crosses charged down by Smith at the expense of a corner.
Yeah, he'd love the insurance now of a couple of quick goals so he could whip off maybe at least one of his strikers, that's for sure.
Stam getting up in front of Greening, forced away by Lehman, but only as far as Beckham again. Charged down by Hayward, it will be another Manchester United corner.
Yeah, they've done that very well, Fulham. They've blocked off crosses, particularly from Beckham. They obviously know the danger of his ball into the box.
Bucks cross this time. Just a little bit too much on it for Jan Stam. Whether Nicky Butt would be an option for whoever is in charge against Poland in the absence of Paul Ince. Very big international match for England next month. He didn't make the bench against France on Wednesday.
I think it'd have been handy in the second half when France were popping the ball about all over the place. I think it was crying out for somebody like that, somebody that could help to resist their dominance.
Here is Nicky Butt. Phil Neville. Jonathan Greening. Stam to Beckham. Now Gary Neville. Dwight York. Butt to Greening. Brevitt sold himself a little bit. This is York. Now Butt. Gary Neville on the outside. Instead it's York. And now Butt. Driven in all through hope and expectation, I fancy, but it came off Chris Coleman.
Certainly over the last few months, you know, I think that's something that Butt's been looking for. A lot more shots from outside the box.
Corner quickly taken to Gary Neville. Header away by Steve Finnan. Here is Nicky Butt. Jonathan Greening. Philip Neville. Ollie Solskjaer. Finnan did well, he is strong. Athletic young player. Hayward, a good pass to Dirk Lehman. And there are 5 forward for Fulham here. Steve Hayward on the ball. Out towards John Solaka on the left-hand side, but Gary Neville is there for Manchester United.
You know, he's very much unsung, Gary Neville. I just think he's just got a bad habit of doing most things right, hasn't he?
He's given the ball away, as you say that.
Away, yeah.
Collins to Hales. Plucky play by Barry Hales, and he was sandwiched there between Stam and Butt. And here's an opportunity for Fulham. Free kick, straight in front of goal. 7 paces outside of the Manchester United penalty area. He's always trying to force the issue, and he's had the ball, Barry Hales, today. John Solaka, number 8, and Steve Hayward, number 10, are the two that fancy this.
Well, Hayward got the deflection, didn't he, against the Villa from an area similar to this, but Solaka always fancies his chance here.
Fulham know they're not going to get too many chances this afternoon. Solaka leaves it. It's Hayward. Charged down by Phil Neville. Finnan strikes it this time. Really got hold of it too. Straight at Schmeichel, who tries to bowl it straight downfield to Solskjaer. Number 2 Finnan here had the shot. Hayward had the original one.
Struck it well and true though, Finnan, didn't it?
But Fulham need to make something happen sooner rather than later. Behind to a deflected Andy Cole goal in the first half. This is Wayne Collins, just unable to bring the ball under control. Boyhood Manchester United fan, Wayne Collins. All his family live in this area.
That's good blocking, that. That's a good thud. Unfortunately for Fulham, right down the keeper's throat.
balance. Again, committing defenders. Greening made the challenge. Dwight York popping up deep inside his own half of the field. But to Beckham. Gary Neville. On by Andy Cole. Brevitt was fouled by Cole.
You're talking earlier, you know, about Fulham making something happen sooner or later. I think it's very important from their point of view that they don't concede again. I think, OK, in the last 10 minutes, if it's still at 1-0, then I'm pretty sure Kevin will get the cavalry out and send on extra reinforcements.
Salaka. Foul by Smith.
Blomqvist having rather an extensive warm-up. Just wonder whether he's going to go and put his width on the left-hand side. Take one of those front players off.
Fulham are about to make a change up front too. Nicky Butt to David Beckham. And now to Ollie Solskjaer. Looking for Gary Neville. John Salako did well to get back. Henning Berg. Nicky Butt. David Beckham. Clipped into York, let it run on by Cole. York back out to Beckham. Kevin Keegan with his imminent substitute. 20-year-old Kevin Betsy, who is a forward. Referee's just having a word with David Beckham. Alex Ferguson was commenting how strong and fit Beckham is looking going into this second half of the season after his World Cup exploits. Well, that will change when the baby comes. Greening. Lost it to Hayward.
Yeah, young Greening's not quite tuned into the pace, you know. Whereas the majority of the United players are assured and just take 1 or 2 touches. He's dwelling on the ball a little bit.
Stam having to be strong to deny Lehmann. Schmeichel only as far as Hayward. Now Neil Smith survives the handball appeals. Jabbed into the path of Finner. 3 to cross to. Whipped in towards Dirk Lehmann.
Good piece of play, this lovely ball in there from Finnan. Lehmann just can't quite get enough on it, and that could well be good night Vienna for him.
This is a farewell contribution. Dirk Lehmann will give way in the Fulham attack to Kevin Betsy, who made his debut for Fulham at Anfield in a Worthington Cup tie in October, just played the last 10 minutes there, and has made only 1 senior appearance since then, and that was in an auto windscreen match at Torquay last month in front of 2,500 people. So you could say that this is a bit of a gamble by Kevin Keegan, but he has a lot of faith in Betsy and in his strength in particular. Hales. Throw-in which Brevitt will take. Salako. It's caught by Neville then. Free kick which Hayward will go across to take, for which Simons and Coleman inevitably will come forward in front of the Fulham fans. Hayward takes. In towards Hales. He was under pressure and couldn't quite direct the header in the way that he wanted. Beckham down. Chance for Manchester United to counter. York onto Solskjaer. Fulham a little bit stretched for a change. Well, they've got men goal side. They really are putting an awful lot in. And here's their substitute, Betsy. Bet they wish they could bring Bestie on.
Didn't look that fit when I saw him.
He didn't look ready at half-time, did he? You'd have to say. Hayward. Beckham. Given away. Finnan picked it off. Lifted forward. Hales was onside here. Betsy is in the middle. Held up by Henningberg at the expense of a Fulham corner.
Yeah, good tempo now from Fulham. They're starting to drive the game. They're picking up and going at the United defence with a bit more belief than they had just before half-time, and certainly a lot more possession. And I think very much in these cases, you know, the set plays, I think they start very much even Steven. You know, Coleman, Kit Simons, they're all capable of out-climbing the United defenders.
Corner which Steve Hayward will take for Fulham. Towards Coleman. Cleared by Butt, not convincingly though. Simons and Stam underneath it, and the free kick has gone Fulham's way. Stam penalised. Fulham's best spell for a long time. I think Salaka is going to bag this one. It's on his side. Is this the moment for Fulham? John Salaka. Pretty comfortable for Peter Schmeichel.
Yeah, they've got to go in with a lot more zip than that.
Came off the back of Ollie Solskjaer. Rufus Brevitt recovered. Throw into Manchester United. They just haven't caught fire for any persistent period this afternoon, Manchester United. Fulham fans in full voice. Phil Neville on the ball for Manchester United. This is Dwight York. Drifting away from Salaka, feeding Andy Cole. Support from Ollie Solskjaer. No flag. Solskjaer for Manchester United. Cole was maybe blocking out the goalkeeper's view as Solskjaer shot through his teammate. Touch and go, the offside, wasn't it?
Yeah, I must admit I thought he was well onside, but that was very marginal. But that's one of the disadvantages. I mean, he's got a fierce right foot, Solskjaer, but he's always tending to have to come infield off that left-hand side.
Collins. On by Smith. Cut out by Stam. Now York. Good tackle by Coleman. Solskjaer trying to force it forward. Now Greening. Beckham. Cross deflected for a corner. Is it handball? I think the referee's assistant on the far side is signalling that. As Ian Blanchard say, which penalised Rufus Brevitt. So it's a free kick rather than a corner kick. Beckham takes. Both the deflections, I think, came off Fulham players. First Smith and then Finnan, but it fell for Mike Taylor. Not much that Finnan knew about it. Collins. Meant for Hayward. He actually was on Manchester United's books as a youngster, Wayne Collins. Said it was in your time here, Ron,
Said you let him go. Never forgiven you for it.
I certainly let him go from Sheffield Wednesday. I remember that, but I don't remember him. I can't recall him being here as a boy, no.
He's got about 20 family here today. They're all waiting outside for you after the match. Fulham have a free kick here. Hales has been blooded there on his below his right eye. Nicky Butt's boot. Jesper Blomqvist is about to replace Ollie Solskjaer, who at kick-off time this afternoon was averaging a goal every half hour during the course of 1999. In fact, strangely enough, the only start he'd made for Manchester United against Derby, Solskjaer had failed to score, and he's failed to score again this afternoon. He might be back on the bench on Wednesday, I fancy.
Doesn't look happy there, though, does he? He played out there for Norway in the World Cup. He certainly doesn't look happy when he has to go out on the left-hand side.
Referee is giving the Fulham physiotherapist Chris Smith every chance to stem the bleeding, and Hales every chance to recover and continue.
There's nowhere he'll come off Hales. He's got, I was just going to say, he's got his blood flowing for it. He certainly has got his blood flowing at the moment.
Hayward with the free kick towards Kit Simons. Betsy's underneath it. Couldn't quite bring the ball under control. Greening, the Manchester United substitute. Cleared by Phil Neville. Greening has fallen rather painfully on the track here. It's Finnan on the ball for Fulham, and Schmeichel pushes it away, and Solarco's there, and it was a real chance for John Solarco, who allowed Peter Schmeichel to recover.
It's a great double save, this from Schmeichel. He's redeemed his error, but John Solarco, he had glory all over himself there. But that's a great reaction from the big Dane.
Two big opportunities in this match for Fulham, one for Dirk Lehmann in the first half, and now another for John Solarco in this second half.
Yeah, should have tucked it away, but I don't think we should discount the recovery save there. I think the big Dane, what is he, 35? There's Blomqvist coming on now. 35 years of age or something. I think that recovery was remarkable.
So Ollie Solskjaer departs. He did play for his country in midweek in Italy. And Jesper Blomqvist is the man who takes his place, and Manchester United presumably will revert to a more familiar shape. Blomqvist is so key to Manchester United at the moment in Ryan Giggs' absence. Inter Milan come here in just 2.5 weeks, and nobody quite knows yet whether Giggs will be fit for that. Manchester United are not finished with this cup tie just yet.
No, and I mean, we're talking about whether he could conserve players for the Arsenal game on Wednesday. With that game coming up, he certainly won't want to replay either, Alex Ferguson.
Burke's header. Then Smith's. Then Hales on the chest. Onto Betsy. Trying to run. Stam and Greening. It's still Kevin Betsy. Yep, Stam trying to catch up with him. John Solarco. Possibilities here for Fulham. Solarco's cross. Burke, oh my goodness, it nearly fell for Betsy. Didn't know much about that. Heading Burke. Nicky Butt got it away, and now here's Andy Cole. Manchester United living dangerously.
Well, I couldn't say Manure on the ropes, but they're certainly going through a very rocky period at the moment.
Greening has lost it. Hales has it. Fulham have the wind in their sails. Collins to Hayward. Tossed forward by Collins. Berg at full strength. Stam trying to calm it down. Schmeichel straight to Steve Hayward. Away from Blomqvist. But with an important challenge. Collins, though. Now Finnan. And Manchester United just cannot take the sting out of this game. But doing well against Smith. Cole, York. Now Beckham. Andy Cole galloping on. York and Butt in support. Cole waited and waited, found York. Maybe waited a little too long. It was just behind Dwight York, but they have another opportunity with Jesper Blomqvist on the ball. Ooh, just beyond Nicky Butt. And that will be a throw into Fulham.
Yeah, I don't think Nicky Butt anticipated that. I think that was within his range.
York. Good work by Finnan. Hayward back to his goalkeeper. Well, those who came to Old Trafford this afternoon anticipating a Manchester United goal spree have been disappointed thus far. Leading scorers in the Premiership by a dozen goals. But Fulham have not only kept it down to one, but they've restricted to Manchester United to only a couple of other chances, and they've made a couple of big opportunities for themselves.
Must admit, when Salako came onto that rebound, you know, I thought for a minute he was just gonna lift it over the keeper, just chip it.
Backs up against him here.
He played it fairly firm. Here it is again. And it's Finnan, I think he has had the crack. To parry, being pressured a bit. He could say he's being pressured a bit. I don't think Kevin will think he's being pressured that much.
When rarely used by Kevin Keegan since losing his place through injury back in September, John Salako. But he's a good athlete. He's a naturally fit player.
He's actually played fairly well today, hasn't he? He's played quite well.
Collins certainly trusted his goalkeeper. Good passing again from Fulham. Finnan to Betsy. Now forward by Hayward. Flag is up this time.
Well, they're able to do what they weren't doing towards the end of the first half, and that's get midfield players breaking on again.
Long way back for Neil Smith at the moment. Jonathan Greening on the ball for Manchester United. Beckham. Here's Greening. And now York, and now Cole. Just a little bit too much weight on it for Greening. Crossed in towards Andy Cole. It's Coleman who got up in front of him, but trying to win it back. Blomqvist. Phil Neville. Jesper Blomqvist. Tackled by Wayne Collins. Fulham are going to make another change. Another player with Premiership experience, Paul Trollope, is going to replace John Salako. Rather rueful look on his face. He knows he had a great chance to equalise. Paul Trollope, the former Derby County player, takes his place.
Yeah, he's more of an energetic central midfield player. I just wonder whether they'll try and get a midfield player just to run on now and join the front two all the while.
Manchester United have possession. It's Beckham. Stam. There's by Brevitt. Trollope, who is a left-footed player, has gone out to play on that flank in front of Rufus Brevitt, number 14. Time he was here with Derby County, they won. It was the day that Paolo Wanchop made his name, and Trollope's job that day was to man mark
Eric Cantona. That was a couple of years ago. Approaching the last 15 minutes. Manchester United leading through a deflected Andy Cole goal in the first half.
We certainly had the shake of this half from a team that was playing virtual keep ball for the last 20 minutes of the first half. They've been rattled out of the stride a little bit this half.
Stam. Bexy got to him, but Stam managed to get the ball away. Running down the right-hand side, Stam galloping across to cover him. Schmeichel though straight to Hayward, just a little bit heavy for Finnan. Schmeichel seems to like Steve Hayward. It's about the third time in the last 5 minutes he's found him. Jonathan Greening. Nicky Butt on towards Gary Neville. Good scampering run from the back. Well found too by Butt. Neville's cross. Hung up towards Cole! Well, so much of the pre-publicity surrounded Andy Cole and his relationship with Kevin Keegan at Newcastle. He's already had a say in the tie. He always had the final say there.
Classic cross there, though, from Neville. Just can't get a run at it. He would like to run at that, Andy Cole.
Oh, and Cole getting a little bit excited with Trollope. Beckham quickly taken towards York. Cut out by Simons. Greening. Neville.
Don't very often see that. Neville and York not on the same wavelength there. And Gary Neville's fully expecting Yorkie to make a little darkers across the box.
This is Hales. Still trying to force his way into the box.
He's had a right go on it today, Hales. He's been a bulldozer, a battering ram and all sorts.
Lundqvist to York. Cole is on his way down the centre, offside. He had a couple of years, less than a couple of years, with Kevin Keegan at Newcastle. He was off. But a couple of years in which he more than trebled his value. One of those big decisions which Kevin Keegan is not frightened to make, selling Andy Cole to Manchester United. Simons watching that carefully. Cole trying to latch onto it, but Kit Simons and Chris Coleman have been outstanding today.
Yeah, it's a good recovery from Simons because that ball didn't half bend ugly on him.
They've both been to the semi-finals of this competition, the two Fulham centre-backs. Simons with Portsmouth, Coleman with Crystal Palace against Manchester United. It's a tragic night at Villa Park. Got a free kick.
I tell you what, he's not fazed at all by who he's playing against, Big Hales. He's having a right slam at them.
Got a real appetite for this tie today, Barry Hales. Hayward's free kick. Towards Kit Simons. This wouldn't quite happen for him as he went up with Henning Berg, who did just about enough.
I don't think they'd like United. I think they'd like to face the last few minutes against a load of corners and free kicks.
We are talking about the last few minutes now, 10 of them.
They haven't been over-comfortable in dealing with the aerial threat when the two big guys come up from the back from Fulham.
Brevett. Smith. Collins to Hayward. Clipped in towards Smith, making another run to the box. I don't think Berg actually left that. I think he was trying to cut it out. Cole to York. Greening. It's been a rather jaded performance all in all by Manchester United. Only sporadically have they found any real rhythm. Certainly Fulham, whose supporters are celebrating their performance very vocally at the moment, played their part in hampering Manchester United's efforts to establish their usual rhythm. York. Now Butt. Berg to Beckham. Away by Trollope. Greening. Gary Neville. This is Dwight York. Trying to guide it back towards Gary Neville. Finnan emerged with the ball. It was bowled over by Beckham. Fulham have a free kick. Longfist and Neville going for the same ball. Smith forward to Hales. Now Trollope looking for Smith again. Just a little too much weight on the pass into the penalty area. Neil Smith, in terms of sheer energy, has given as much as anybody for Keegan's team today. Manchester United certainly have one eye on the clock now. York penalised.
Yeah, and rightly so. He's very good at that, York. He's just backing into defenders, just holding him up, making it hard for big defenders to get at the ball. Referee spot on there.
Bexy is the target. He fouled Henning Berg. It's a dream come true for Betsy just to be here. Started the season with Woking. That's what the FA Cup can do, and make dreams come true. Fulham really have been relatively untroubled in this second half.
The second half they've been virtually not in cruise control, but they've certainly controlled the game. Fed United a stretch, which, you know, that in itself is a remarkable achievement.
Can they take it on a step in these last few minutes and claim a Craven Cottage replay? Neville to Blomqvist. Driven forward towards Andy Cole. No flag here. Collins is back with him. Cole has found Blomqvist. But headed by Collins. Put down on the edge of the penalty area. Touching his ankle as Fulham come forward. Good recovery by Jonathan from Greening. Well, Certainly I felt he got the ball, but he fouled Finnan. Fulham want to get on with it. Not tempting fate, but the referee hasn't issued a yellow card as yet in the game. Haven't been to too many of those this season. Five more minutes. It was late in the day against Southampton in the third round that Barry Hales found a winner for Fulham. Late in the day in both the third and fourth round that Manchester United found their winners here against Middlesbrough and Liverpool. And they're hanging on a bit here. Reversal of roles. Phil Neville. Cut out by Hayward. Here's Hales. Oh, was hacked there by Neville, but he won the ball. This is Blomqvist. Into York. Simons couldn't quite claim the ball. York eventually tackled by Smith, and the referee didn't see anything wrong there either. Burn. Jaap Stam. Andy Cole. Yes, for Blomqvist. Now Phil Neville. Crossed in towards York. Oh, good save by Taylor. Better than that, actually. Tremendous stop to keep out Dwight York. Nobody's done that since the first week in January.
Oh, that's a good ball in, and you see Yorkie, great skill, hits it on the full. You think, what a marvellous goal, and what a phenomenal reaction from the keeper.
Scored his last 6 games, Dwight York, but denied there by Mike Taylor. Fulham are going to make one last change and bring on Gus Ullenbeck in place of Wayne Collins. Ullenbeck, a Dutchman signed from Ipswich in the summer, who's been in and out of the side this season. Beckham short of Blomqvist. Now Butt. Straight to Brevett though. Betsy and Hales are forward. This is Betsy. Smith's made a good run. Betsy didn't see him. Now Hayward. Crossed in towards Neil Smith. Gary Neville will let it run for the goal kick.
Perhaps a little bit early for that Hayward to be sending that one in.
Well, look at this. Manchester United are going to bring on Ronnie Johnson, and guess who's coming off? Andy Cole, the goal scorer.
I don't think that's the saving for Wednesday, by the way. I think that's to preserve his 1-0 lead.
Johnson, the Norwegian who played for his country in Italy against Roberto Baggio during the week.
Just going to push in front of the back, 2 central defenders.
He's going to play in midfield there, just in front of the back 4. And York here is virtually on his own up front for the last couple of minutes. Headed by Stam. On by Butt to York. Free kick has gone Fulham's way.
I think this is the reason Johnson's gone on, you know, because I think Alex Ferguson recognises that they've got a problem in dealing with the aerial power of Fulham.
A year ago to the day, Fulham were beaten up the road at Oldham in front of 6,000 fans. Oh, they've wasted that. Here's Dwight York. But the wheels are already in motion. Promotion didn't arrive on schedule last year. It's on the menu for this season. But they were hoping for another special on the menu today, another success against Premiership opposition. It doesn't look at the moment as if it's going to come, but my goodness, they've come close. Dwight York, though. Here's Gary Neville. In towards Beckham, kept out by Taylor. Beckham again miscued. And Well, the ball was out of play before Gary Neville got to it. In fact, it was offside.
I think that's how I want to call it. He's off the field when he's given it.
But it was an opportunity for Beckham.
Another good block, though. Full marks again to the keeper. Good reaction.
Blomqvist. There will be 4 additional minutes. Ron Atkinson has chosen his man of the match, and it's Fulham's all-action midfield player Neil Smith.
Yeah, he's had great industry, great energy. He's done the defensive part of his job well, and he's also found plenty of time to get into the opponent's box.
Fulham signed him before the Kevin Keegan revolution started. Made his way in the lower leagues with Gillingham.
I think there's any number of the Fulham players could have won it. 2 central defenders, as you commented early. Hales, I think, has been terrific. Oh, I thought he was in there. I think Hales has been terrific for them in terms of commitment and attitude. But little Smith doesn't seem to have stopped all day. He seems to be up and down all over the field.
He's still up there alongside the front two, waiting, hoping for one last chance to save it for Fulham. This is Betsy, showing the presence of mind to chest it down and turn. Brevet again. Little wayward that time, but with the header down. Here's Ronnie Johnson. David Beckham. Galloping on. Now can Beckham finish it? Brevet says no. Slams the door in his face. Fulham still alive here. Little long for Betsy. It's 3 years since Manchester United made it to the last stage, but each time that they've reached the quarter-finals during the 90s, they've gone all the way to Wembley. The spring can get a little crowded when you're chasing 3 trophies. The 6th round of the Cup comes just 3 days after Inter Milan come here. Cup semis just 4 days after the first leg of the European semi. The 2 finals are in the same week. Are they the sort of problems you'd like, though, Ron?
They're the sort of problems Alex Ferguson won't mind, that's for sure.
They'll get a team out if they're in the competitions. And they are still. Well, Keegan for Fulham is the chant, and it brought a smile to the face of a man who wears his heart on his sleeve, shows his emotions. Now, there's a one big laugh to come as Hales miscues with Schmeichel committed.
I think he would. Nobody to begrudge. Well, nobody except the red people would have begrudged him an equaliser. And I thought when he swung, you know, he swung his foot. I thought he was going to connect and get one in the net there.
Just couldn't make any kind of contact with it. And here goes Dwight York for Manchester United. Lifted impudently into the path of Jonathan Greening. Ronnie Johnson. Gary Neville. David Beckham. Here's Neville. Driven out by Taylor. Greening was there for a cutback. They've got a corner kick.
Yeah, Greening was asking for a cutback. I don't think Neville had the angle there. I think Neville desperately wants to cut it back in. Some beautiful play between Beckham and Neville. I think he thinks as play as there is as a defender between the Neville and Greening.
They're almost there. Beckham short to Neville. Manchester United just trying to run the clock down here. Have the throw in. Beckham again. Johnson lifted in. Greening in pursuit. One battler. Fidden will bring it away. Hales will try to provide the springboard for one last attack. Smith rampaging forward, runs into 2 United players. It's Manchester United, as expected, who go through to the quarter-finals, but not in the manner that was expected. Fulham sort of that. Beaten by a deflected goal midway through the first half, credited to Andy Carroll, which came off Kit Simons. Fulham created a wonderful opening in the first half for Dirk Lehmann, another in a
A second half in which they probably had the edge for John Solarco, but this goal by Cole was the decider. It's Manchester United whose name goes into the hat for that quarter-final draw, which is live on ITV in about 10 minutes' time. But why do Fulham have a story to tell from their day out at Old Trafford? 1-0 the final score.